So I recently got done watching A Star Is Born, and if you don't know about this movie, it came out in 2018, and it's starring Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga and Sam Elliott, who I'm more excited about, as Dave Chappelle, some big names in it. It was actually directed by Bradley Cooper, which was part of the big deal in that he starred in it and he directed in it, and I think it may be his first film. I'm not exactly 100% sure. If it is, it definitely shows. Now, I'd be surprised if you didn't know about this movie. This movie has actually been remade, I believe, 4 different times. It earned or was nominated for quite a bit of awards. It has a 90% on Rotten Tomato. I don't know if I watched the same movie as other people, because in watching this, granted, older rambling brother watched the movie when it first came out, and he did not really like it. He found it to be really boring, really melodramatic, really simple and dumb characters, and way too long. Honestly, it's way too long. I agree. So I went in with some low standards, and I guess I should have lowered them even more. So A Star Is Born is a really weird movie. You have Bradley Cooper's character, right? He is this famous country singer. He's a drunk. He runs into Lady Gaga when she is performing at this bar, and he's like, I want to, make you famous. You have an amazing voice, an amazing ability to write songs. Please put your voice out there. And the way this is done is with a really awkward scene where you have Lady Gaga singing in French, maybe? I'm not really sure. It's really awkward, long pauses in between dialogue. There's a lot of mumbling and talking over from Bradley Cooper, but I guess that's just his character, but it didn't really go well with the dialogue, like the characters when they were talking. It very much felt like Bradley Cooper was a robot that had an alarm, and it was like every time an alarm went off, he just spouted out a line. Lady Gaga, listen, I love your music, girl. I ain't gonna lie. But you are not the best actress. Granted, who knows? Maybe she does have really good acting talent, and it just needs to be refined more. But I didn't really find anything crazy about her acting. Sam Elliott, man, delivers. He delivers. He always delivers. Sam Elliott, the mustache himself, doing a great job. But anyways, let's go back to... So, okay, the movie's too long. It honestly is. There's some scenes that could really be cut out of this movie. There are some time skips that go over rather some important details, and you really lose track of time. Another thing, the biggest thing that really bothered me about this movie was the dialogue. The dialogue was atrocious, to say the least. Bradley Cooper's character swears, I want to say at least over 100 times at this point. Bradley Cooper's character swears a lot, and in a rather immature and pathetic, juvenile way. And here's my biggest problem with this movie, is that it's written as if they are juveniles. It would have been better if they were teenagers. It would have been better if they perhaps were in their early, mid-20s, somewhere around there. But instead, you have two people who are full-grown adults. And there is literally a scene where Bradley Cooper drops the F-bomb 6 times in the matter of 40 seconds. All right, so keep that in perspective. He sounds like a child. And I guess that's what the point of them... Granted, it is the character, but the character is done really oddly. Like, I don't know what it is. Bradley Cooper's character is just so strange. He doesn't have a character. He just swears and drinks, and that's it. And he's always drunk somehow, even though, like, if you were drunk 24/7, eventually your body would just give out, dude. Like, what the hell? Lady Gaga's character is an odd one, too. She lives with her dad, and her dad's like a chauffeur, and he has all his chauffeur buddies, and they're, talking about, like, we know one day you're going to be famous, and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about, I don't want to be famous, and then she starts giving into the fame. Bradley Cooper gets jealous. Another thing about, again, the dialogue in this movie is the way it's written. Bradley Cooper's character isn't necessarily romantic. All he really does is tell Lady Gaga's character how beautiful she is and how she has an amazing voice. So, like, he basically keeps repeating to her, you're beautiful and you're talented. and there's not really much other dialogue than that. There's this really weird bit, which I guess it was supposed to be kind of cute, but didn't really come off as cute, in that she talks about how she doesn't like her nose, and Bradley Cooper's character is like, oh, but I like your nose. In like multiple scenes, he like rubs her nose, which I guess was supposed to be cute. I don't really know. Later in the movie, Bradley Cooper's character starts going off the deep end. Lady Gaga's character is too busy doing her own shows and writing her own fame. And this was so I'm going to, major spoilers here. Sorry if you've already made it this far into the video, but major spoilers here for the ending. The ending, you have Bradley Cooper's character, he, how should I say this? Takes his own life because he is struggling. He cannot get off the alcohol. He finds it difficult, so he ends his own life. And it's done in a really sudden and jarring way that didn't really convey any emotion. I was more so like, because I saw the scene coming. The scene is like he's backing out of the garage, and then he gets out of the car, and he has his belt in his hand, and it's put in a way where it could go around someone's neck. And I started thinking to myself, there's no way they're going to do this. That's it. Why would they do this? This is just so sudden and random. Why would he? And then they did it. And it was a really odd choice. Like, I don't know if that's how the originals went. Granted, I haven't watched the originals because I'm not that old. But it was too sudden that it just really blew my mind that they even did that. Because it was just like, what? And then, of course, you can't have him leave, so at the end, Lady Gaga's character has this song. By the way, the music in this, beautiful. I love the music, definitely love the music. But you have Lady Gaga playing this song, and then it shows Bradley Cooper playing the piano, or he was showing her this song or something like that. To be honest, I checked out of the movie at this point because it lost me. It really did. It could not keep me. The dialogue is horrible. The running time is far too long. The characters are self-inserts. They're really not characters. Sam Elliott is like sort of a character, but he's a supporting character, so I mean he doesn't really get a lot. I don't know. This is honestly like, and there's another thing too. Granted, if you watch this movie, which I do not recommend, but if you do watch this movie, there's this consistent usage of red and blue lighting. Whenever Bradley Cooper is on screen, there is constant like red lighting, and it really threw me off because he looks horrible in red lighting, and the contrast being Lady Gaga, who is in blue lighting. There's a point where they're both in red lighting. He is always even in his house there's red lights. Like, there's red lighting everywhere. Like, I get your point, dude, but come on, be a bit more subtle. Anyways, I didn't really like A Star Is Born. If I had to give this a rating, I'd say bad. I don't know, take that as you will. I didn't like it. Waste of time, honestly. Over 2 hours for no payoff, really, and a really sudden, jarring ending. I don't know what you get from this, but if you do want to watch it, maybe, swing back a few beers and have some fun, then go ahead and knock yourself out. As always, thanks for listening. Have a great day. Check the links in the description and subscribe for future rambles.